Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
I was outraged like everyone else when I heard about Mark Wahlberg. And then I read into this damn thing, and I don't have a problem with what he said.
We look like assholes right now, man.
Say, well, maybe not.
Yeah. What does the covers of the paper say?
The cover of the paper,
because they made it
says 9/11 jerk, who I think would more aptly be Mohammed Atta.
Right.
Outrage over star's sick plane boast.
Right.
And let's roll.
Right.
Actors insult boasts about 9/11 hijack.
Did you know he was supposed to be on one of those planes? I guess the one leaving Boston?
Fucking A. Opie, did you listen to 1010 Wins this morning?
I sure did. But I didn't know he was supposed to be on the plane until today.
I knew about
I thought that would have came out already.
MacFarlane.
Right.
But I did not know about Mark.
Right. And he's basically saying, look, I'm a family man. If I'm on this plane with kids, that plane's not going down. And I think every guy would say that.
Hello, exactly.
Yes.
There's some insensitivity there, obviously. I'm not stupid. I know that.
Oh, fucking idiot.
Yes. It's very insensitive to say something like that, but he was just speaking his mind. Like, holy shit, I was almost on that plane, and he's putting himself in that position. Like, there's no fucking way I'm going to allow that plane to go down with me and my kids on the plane.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were people on the plane that were thinking that exact thing, and they probably couldn't get the job done for whatever reason, because I don't know what the reasons are, because I wasn't on the plane.
Look,
it seemed like it was a tough situation.
The hindsightedness of this whole thing is ridiculous, because...
That's what gets people, you think?
No one knew the plane was going to crash until it crashed. Up till then, hijackings had happened, and they usually land somewhere, and the rule of thumb was you sit there with your mouth shut and hope for the best when they get on the ground.
Right.
The plane that crashed into Pennsylvania was directly because of the passengers' intervention, because they knew that the other planes were being flown into things.
Yeah.
So they got the word, like, we're not going to land, so let's get up and do something, and they did. For Mark Wahlberg to say that he would have done something, not knowing that this was a death ride, is just silly. It's hindsight. It's dumb. Everybody who knows what happened on the plane, is not going to sit there and not do anything, knowing that it's going to fly into the Trade Center. You're going to all get up and fucking try to do something.
So, do you think it was dumb what he said?
Yeah, it's a dumb thing to say, because...
Do you understand why he said it, though?
It's impossible to have any kind of insight into what you would do, knowing what the end result is now.
I don't think he was trying to hurt anyone.
No,
by
I don't think so
this.
either. He's
the problem is
he's been in here. He seems cool.
Most of the media outlets will just spin this like, oh, what a jerk. And
Exactly.
I just see it as a guy just saying what a guy would say. Like, fuck, if I'm on that plane, no way is that going down. I can't imagine.
Hello, exactly.
Exactly, Mark.
But
Mr. Wahlberg.
But obviously very insensitive for the people that lost loved ones on the plane. Obviously.
Is it, though? Is he demeaning them, saying that
it's insensitive?
I would have done something even if these people decided to just sit around and do nothing? I don't think he was saying that.
It's insensitive for the people that lost loved ones.
Yeah.
I don't think Mark Wahlberg was trying to be insensitive.
I don't neither.
Okay.
I don't neither. But it's a silly remark, because you can't judge what you do based on what you know now.
Yeah. Why was it
silly?
Why did he say this?
He's an idiot.
He needs publicity for Contraband.
Oh, fucking idiot.
How's Contraband doing? Is it doing all right?
Yeah. It looks pretty action-packed, I gotta say. Doesn't it? Yeah.
Here's how it went down.
Tonight, Boston native and Hollywood star Mark Wahlberg is apologizing for comments some people are calling distasteful and disrespectful. The actor claimed in a recent interview that he could have stopped 9/11. And as Jim Smith explains, those comments stunned people whose loved ones were killed in the attacks.
I'm coming for you.
By professional standards, Mark Wahlberg is on a roll, starring in the smash hit new film Contraband. But he's hit a major PR pothole. Wahlberg was supposed to be on one of the planes that hit the Twin Towers, but changed his travel plans days earlier. And now, in an interview with Men's Journal magazine, he says, "If I was on the plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did. There would have been a lot of blood in that first-class cabin, and then me saying, okay, we're going to land somewhere safely. Don't worry."
Well, that's like a script to a horrible movie.
All he wants to be an action hero.
Did he say that? All right. I'm covered in blood. We're gonna land, motherfuckers!
Man, you can't say anything without everyone picking it apart, though.
Well, yeah.
You know, he was just saying what every guy would say.
Oh, that's very good. What? Sounds like a Jimmy Norton script.
Yeah.
One of Jimmy's action movie scripts.
Turk February.
Turk February gets on the plane, and he cuts all the terrorists up. He's drenched in blood.
Yeah.
And then he says, don't worry, people. We're going to land this plane safely. And he's a rogue. He was a rogue cop.
You're gonna get
retarded.
You're gonna get all these celebrities basically saying absolutely nothing eventually.
Yeah,
you know, because they're making a huge deal about this. It's on the front page of our papers. I'm sure it's on the front page of the Boston papers today. I'm sure it's front page of the L.A. papers today.
Is this really something though that's going to make it like Twitter and the fact that YouTube picks up on things and the press puts so much shit out there and people pick it up and trade it? Is that making things worse for celebrities or better, because it's almost desensitizing people to what celebrities say these days? It used to be a celebrity every once in a while would trip over their fucking tongue, say something dumb, and get in trouble for it. Now it happens so often you can't even keep track of all these people. So I think some are slipping through the cracks.
Yeah, I agree. I think as we go forward with social networking, because I don't know if it's going to be Twitter. I can just say Twitter, whatever it becomes. I think this type of thing won't matter as much.
Yeah, it won't even matter.
But right now it really does, because we're in the early stages of celebrities talking and tweeting like they are.
This is like someone on television in the early, like the 50s, saying pregnant or bathroom.
Right.
Remember, that would freak people out?
Right.
Like you weren't able to say it. I think the famous story is Jack Parr on The Tonight Show, before Johnny Carson did The Tonight Show, said water closet. Actually just said water closet, which is the oldie time term for bathroom. And
why do they come up with that? I understand, you know, they were trying to class it up, the fact that people were dropping deuces. But
I guess because there wasn't a bath in there at that point. It was just a turlet, and they couldn't say crapper. I don't know.
Yeah, but the guy who invented it, his name was Tom Crapper, right?
Could we have a word or origin for water closet, please? Word origin, water closet. Go to Wikipedia. It's up, right?
Is it up today?
Of course it is.
That was just a one-day thing?
One day, that's all they care about.
Way to commit.
Yeah, really. Really making a stand.
I think the SOPA thing is still kind of happening.
Yeah.
Way to commit. One day. Ooh.
So he said water closet, and they almost threw him off the fucking air. Right. It was crazy. You couldn't say anything. Lucy and Desi couldn't sleep in the same bed. When Lucy was literally pregnant with a child, they wrote it into the TV show, but never said the word pregnant. Right. Because you weren't allowed to back then.
And now we've moved forward.
Yeah, now we're saying all kinds of shit on television. But I think it's the same thing with
look, the Mark Wahlberg,
media.
you know, look, he said something that's insensitive to people. Yes, okay. But all the attention he's going to get today and the front page of papers, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
There's some real shit going on out there.
Yeah.
Here's more of the Mark Wahlberg thing.
Don't worry. Those who lost loved ones on September 11th were shocked, one of them calling the statement silly, grandstanding, disrespectful. Outside a Cambridge theater where Wahlberg's movie is playing, his fans quick to react.
I think it's really insensitive for him to say something like that.
After watching several of his films, namely Fighter, I feel like he probably would have done something.
If he had said that about, and my family was affected, I'm sure I would have been a lot more offended.
Mark Wahlberg's comments touched off a firestorm of criticism, and it didn't take him long to issue an apology. Wahlberg said, to suggest I would have done anything different on that plane was irresponsible. I deeply apologize to the families of victims that my answer came off as insensitive. It was certainly not my intention.
If you say something dumb, then the best you can do is just apologize. And so he did that.
Mark Wahlberg is certainly hoping that saying he's sorry will heal any unintended wounds.
Now, we should point out, it's not the first time that Mark Wahlberg has talked publicly about the attacks of 9/11. Back in 2006, he said he would have tried to do something if he'd been on board, and he said that he's had dozens of dreams about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's really close to the situation. situation.
Yeah, you got it.
Because he was almost on that plane. So that's got to keep him up at night. Like, holy fuck, if I didn't decide to go to that film festival, because I listened to 1010 Wins, I would have been on that plane. So then you're thinking, well, fuck, I'm on that plane. That thing ain't going down. Because you don't want to think that your life's going to end.
Dude, that would haunt you a little bit. I think people got to put that into some fucking consideration, because that guy can picture himself being on that plane a lot more than we can.
Right.
Because it was just a change of fucking plans that kept him from really being there.
Right.
You could imagine what it would be like, but him, it's like, wow, I would have been on there.
Right.
And maybe you get carried away thinking about it and think, I might have done something. I might have saved all those people. Maybe there's a guilt thing too,
Right.
You think, like, I lived, maybe if I was on there, I could have done something.
Maybe he feels like, I would have done something that might have made the outcome different.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. How do you bash him like that? That's silly.
I think he'll be all right. He apologized quickly. And he probably meant the apology.
Yeah.
He probably realized, oh, fuck, all right, maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to say. Because most of these apologies, like we say, you can't believe. But I think this one might be a real apology.
I cut him some slack.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing got blown out of proportion. It is true. It got blown out of proportion. Right? Exactly.
Hello, exactly.
Hello, exactly.
Hello, exactly.
You got your food yet?
No.
God,
I don't know.
Something for an early break today.
I
got
know.
my oatmeal.
I'm starving Marvin.
I'll tell you this much. Tom Papa will be in studio today.
Oh, I think we got to cancel.
And we did him a favor yesterday. Because he would have sat there.
I know.
Because Jim Brewer tells his stories, and you got to just fucking sit back in your chair and listen. His stories yesterday were great.
Brewer was fucking great.
Tom Papa will be in studio hopefully in the next 15 minutes. We got Jerry Springer coming in today.
Right.
You got to go at it with this guy.
You know what? I don't have the fucking energy to go at it with Springer because he is so just adamant.
So are you.
Yeah, but if you
guys
remember,
are complete opposites.
No, if you
Let's
remember,
do this.
a lot of times when Patrice was in here, me and him would have these discussions, and a lot of times I'd be like, you make a point. I got you on that one. But, like, Springer's just he's so pro fucking Obama and just, ugh. And so liberal and fucking guilty white man.
Speaking of which, here comes Newt. Here comes Newt. He's not going away, and what?
No, he wants us.
He's only 10 points behind Mitt right now in South Carolina.
Yeah, the South Carolina.
And the gap is closing.
Yeah. But I guess Newt's ex-wife came out and said some nasty things about him and how he isn't, he shouldn't be president.
Oh, how much money? How much money did she get for that?
Exactly. All I could think is, what ex-wife is going to say anything nice about their ex, especially if it didn't go well?
I'm sure he has a few things to say about her as well.
Yeah. Newt's ex-wife unloads. Yeah, fucking ex-wives. Shut your yaps.
Well, Newt doesn't seem like a nice guy.
No, I don't want a nice guy president.
I don't really know much about his policies in general, but I like his attitude.
Yeah,
I really do.
He's been around long enough where he doesn't care. He doesn't have to fucking sit there and sugarcoat everything.
He seems to be lesser of a bullshitter than the rest of them. I say lesser because I'm sure there's some bullshit in there as well.
Yeah, that's what I think.
But
oh, they're looking at him like he's fucking, the Antichrist, though. The opposition.
But Mitt Romney should have this thing already.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make you nervous? These guys should be dropping out and letting Mitt have this thing.
Yeah.
But they refuse to.
Now, especially Newt. I think Newt thinks this is his time. When he was up there at the top of the polls, he probably felt like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then he drops down and he's like, I'm not leaving.
If Newt could get South Carolina, it's still a long shot, right?
Yeah.
What happens then?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm just voting for the other guy. The other guy than Obama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who it is.
Mm-hmm.